A tough guy image. Has success changed him, or is the real Donnie Wahlberg finally coming to the surface? Here's Garrett Glazer with a report.
I don't want to be violent, but I'm not going to be silent.
Step by step, ooh baby.
The headlines haven't been good for Donnie Wahlberg. Accused of beating up a Harvard student, he also fought with Georgia Tech students after they threw a pizza box at him while he rode his motorcycle. These recent incidents have tarnished the new kid's teen idol image.
There's been an awful lot in the press in the last 6 weeks about the various altercations. What's going on? Are you guys turning into monsters?
All these incidents that you're hearing about, it's not nothing new. I mean, growing up, I had fights all the time. I had incidences all the time. But now, I'm a new kid on the block. I'm so famous, and the press has given us this goody two-shoes image that now, you know, now everyone wants to say, oh, the new kids aren't good after all. But we never claimed to be good. We just claimed to be positive. You know what I'm saying?
This is a clean-cut Donnie Wahlberg when the new kids first made it. Today, 5 years later, his look is definitely tougher, more mature, like a street kid from a tough Boston neighborhood. This is where it all began for young Donnie Wahlberg in Boston's rough-and-tumble working-class neighborhood of Dorchester. Donnie remembers his roots, and friends here remember him. This was where the Wahlberg family lived while Donnie was growing up. One of his hangouts was Dippin' Donuts, where owner Mary Tolias remembers him as a rowdy kid.
He'll throw his feet on my counters, he spit balls through the straws on my walls, and just acts crazy.
The Dorchester Youth Collaborative is where kids come to find a safe haven from street gangs, and where the new kids came to rehearse their act. The center's director is Emmett Folger. He says the new kids are a product of their environment.
This is Dorchester. This is the other side of the tracks. And kids live with that stigma all the time. These guys have overcome that.
Jack Malone is Wahlberg's uncle. He believes his nephew developed the tough image on the street.
So, the kids who grow up here have some street smarts, it sounds like.
Oh, yeah. If they're not street smart, forget it.
Also,
In other words, survival of the fittest.
I grew up being proud of my neighborhood, being proud of my family, being proud of everything, and, you know, I still am. I mean, the way I grew up, you know, I had a brother in prison, and most kids growing up that way would be hiding the fact that their brother was in prison, you know. I talked about it. I felt that that taught me a lesson. Him having drug problems maybe said, Donnie, don't mess with drugs, because look where you're going to end up.
And Wahlberg answers the critics who have speculated that he's transformed himself into a bad boy.
I'm not trying to be a bad boy, you know? And I don't understand why having an earring in your nose and sideburns and a beard and wearing a bandana makes you a bad boy. Why does that make you a bad boy?
The criticism, he says, does get to him, but Wahlberg says the adoration of his fans makes it all worth it.
When I get down, when I get sad, all I got to do is walk out the front door of the hotel, and I'm surrounded by thousands of loving people who just want to touch me. And, I mean, for a kid who grew up in Dorchester with nothing, you know, with food stamps and no money in my pocket, man, that's really something, man. And I just love it.
Headlines aside, Wahlberg obviously enjoys his fame and success, and he wants people to accept him as he is. Garrett Glazer, Entertainment.